The Patriots have been one of the best teams in the NFL over the last decade. While they lost LeGarrette, Blount, and Martellus Bennett, they also traded for Brandin Cooks using their 2017 first and third round picks. Cooks is the definition of a deep vertical threat. His blazing speed, subtle route running, and confident receiving abilities will make him an instant upgrade to the Patriots receiving corps. For this video, I tracked each of his 117 targets from his 2016 season, and I charted them based on his skill set and routes he ran with the Saints. One of his most ran routes was the fade down the sideline. Versus the Raiders, Cooks takes a jab step release, completely avoiding the jam by Sean Smith. Cooks then uses his 4.33 speed to gain 2 full yards on the defender. After catching the ball in stride, he then continues down the sideline for the 98-yard touchdown. His ability to stretch the field opened up holes for other receivers. While this doesn't always result in yards or fantasy points, this is a key part of what he brings to an offense. Here, the Saints run a flood concept. This is a 3-level read for the quarterback, where the goal is to open up a hole in the Giants' zone defense. Cooks gets a free release and bursts up the sideline. The Giants are in cover 3, where the linebackers get drawn into the line of scrimmage by the play action. Since Darian Thompson has to respect Brandin Cooks, this is what opens up the middle of the defense for Coby Fleener. Being a deep threat is one thing, but solely having speed is not enough to consistently win in the NFL. This is where Cook's understanding of the subtleties of route running really separates him from other receivers. He understands the value of small head fakes, and he understands how to use his footwork, especially on double moves. Versus the Panthers, Cooks runs an out and up down the sideline. Brees and Cooks are in perfect rhythm, where Brees' plant step happens at the same exact moment when Cooks threatens the sideline. This forces the cornerback to drive on the out portion of this route. Cook turns the corner and burns right past him for an 87-yard touchdown. The subtleties in Cook's movements cannot be understated. Out of all the teams in the NFL, the Patriots offense uses one of the largest percentages of double moves. This is what Brandin Cooks excels at, and you'll execute them perfectly in their offense. In the last play I showed, Cooks was used to motion across the field in order to create a mismatch. In this play, the Saints motioned Cooks from a wide alignment to lining up inside the numbers. What their film study told them was that David Amerson would give his receiver space if he took a reduced split closer to the formation. This cushion is enough to give Cooks room to operate. After the snap, Cooks understands that versus off-man coverage, that Cooks is supposed to run directly at his target. This is in order to mask his route. At 8 yards, he takes his route outside, then cuts behind Amerson in order to completely turn him on the spot. Cooks then throttles down and sits underneath for the first down. This was not a one-time thing. He did it again versus the Chargers, lining up opposite of Jason Verrett. The subtlety to the way he moves is what creates this natural separation. This skill set allows Cooks to be more than just a deep threat. After reviewing his tape, the biggest concern I have with him is that he is simply not good against press coverage. This was an issue in college, and it's still an issue in the pros. Taller and longer cornerbacks will jam him at the line of scrimmage. They will ride his hips and prevent any separation. Cooks isn't strong or big enough to consistently fight this coverage. Also, he doesn't win the contested 50-50 catches. Now, he has the ability to track and adjust to these passes, but he isn't A.J. Green or Julio Jones in the sense that you can just throw up a ball and at least somewhat expect a reception. While these issues are mainly size-based, he is not good at breaking tackles. He only caused 4 on 84 touches this season. This metric put him in the bottom 3 for receivers with over 50 targets. Part of this has to do with the routes he ran for the Saints. Fades and out routes don't always lend themselves to helping out with breaking tackles. Now, I don't want you to misunderstand me. He definitely can create with his natural speed, but like I showed in the previous play versus Lions, he is way too easily wrapped up by defenders. Overall, he does a fantastic job against off-man defenders and really any time he has a clean release. If the defense is using press coverage, he can get pushed off his route by their jams. In order to solve this, the Patriots need to use him in stacked formations or simply off the line of scrimmage. This is what happened here versus the Cardinals, and it worked wonders on this drag route. In terms of his fantasy value, he is getting picked on average in the middle of the 3rd round. I honestly think this is a great place to grab him, considering that his skill set leads him to being more of a feast or famine type player. Pay close attention to how the Patriots use him in preseason, as this will be a great indication going forward. Also, if Julian Edelman gets injured, his value should skyrocket since he should be able to play in the slot as well. Well, that's it for this video. Due to July 4th commitments, I unfortunately won't be able to make a video next week. For the following week, I should be starting with Jimmy Graham, looking at his receiving and his run blocking ability. If you have any requests or suggestions, follow the link to my Patreon account and let me know who you want me to break down. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at SamuelRGold for my latest updates.